What is up, Comic Clan? LJ here to tell you about Willy's Wonderland, a recent release by QUByte Entertainment and Mito Games. Yes, it is based off of the movie. That sounds pretty neat, right? Well, maybe don't get your hopes up quite just yet. Willy's Wonderland, the video game, was released on June 13th of 2024. It is indeed based on the film of the same name that was released in February of 2021. The film was due to come out in 2020, but didn't due to the pandemic, and was delayed. Originally with a full theater release in mind, it released in limited capacity and on digital platforms. It's one of those so cheesy it's good type of movies starring Nicolas Cage, and I highly recommend it if you have not seen it already. Before we go any further, please know that there will probably be minor spoilers in this video. The game shares a very similar plot. A drifter takes the night shift at an old Chuck E. Cheese style pizzeria in exchange for repairs. Yes, like in Five Nights at Freddy's. The animatronics come alive and it's your job as the janitor, or the other character, Liv, to stop them. The gameplay takes inspiration from beat-em-up arcade classics like Double Dragon, Streets of Rage, or the TMNT games. I didn't think we'd ever see a Willy's Wonderland video game, but when I first heard of this, I thought the concept made complete sense. It is worth noting that the devs did not get likenesses to any of the characters, so they went with a cartoonish, almost comic book-like art style that makes the low poly graphics look not as bad as they probably should have. Sure, Nick Cage was an important part of the movie, but we don't necessarily need him for the game to be fun. You have 7 stages to fight through in Willy's Wonderland, with bosses being a major highlight. The game can be finished in under an hour, but unfortunately it feels extremely stiff. Certain enemy types hold you in place with some attacks and straight up drain your HP with how much damage they do. The game can be a frustrating experience if you're not careful. And before you even start the game, you'll notice a major red flag, and that's the still images at the beginning of the game. There's not much evidence to say otherwise, but it seems like that they were AI generated. And you'll find these at the end of the game too. Another setback is that I couldn't get my controller to work right, and there's been no update since release. I even went to the Steam discussion page to find out if anyone else was having the issue, and usually I see devs respond in these things, but I've gotten no word on how to fix this. So yes, I did play on my keyboard, but somehow I still ended up playing the game in one sitting. So I guess you could say I enjoyed my time with it. Thankfully, there are a few more layers to the game than just punching or kicking enemies. You have access to a block, a dash attack, and a special that has you spinning around like a top. Power-ups can also aid you in beatdowns with the push of a few buttons to increase damage, provide healing, and give you a burst that will keep surrounding enemies off of your back. I do wish there were a few more mechanics that could have been incorporated. The option to pick up weapons or throwable items is a genre staple. That's just not something we can do in this game. It isn't a necessity, but the ability to grab and throw enemies into things would have been an extra crunch to the gameplay. I can just imagine just throwing one of these animatronic dudes into an arcade machine. Willy's Wonderland is only a $5 video game, so you are getting what you pay for here. I didn't expect much at that price tag, but I would have gladly paid more for a higher quality product. And this is a good time to remind everyone that this is an indie game made by what is likely a small team. This game already has flown a bit under the radar, but I can already see the potential for people wanting to go into the Steam reviews or flood comments about how they made a less than stellar game based off of what might be some people's favorite movie. Because the game is considered a full release and not under Steam's early access label, I do have to give it a full score. I give Willy's Wonderland a 4 out of 10. I still enjoyed my time with it, and you could probably do worse with $5. And trust me, I have definitely played worse games out there. I want to see more of what I thought was an amazing concept. The idea of a beat-em-up game based on Willy's Wonderland seemed like a great fit, and I just wish there could have been something more here. That is all for today. Thank you for watching this video, and be sure to subscribe for more on Comics and the Cross Gaming.